All of this, of course, raises so many questions, and the IRS is about to become, in many ways, even more powerful when the president's health care law kicks in. Despite the growing distrust and all of this news, it is the agency's job to enforce some of the key pieces of the health care plan. Remember that? So this means that IRS agents will soon be collecting even more of your personal information to decide whether or not you're eligible for the subsidies that will be allowed under the health care program. So this puts them right at the heart of that matter. And Stuart Varney, host of Varney & Company on Fox Business Network, joins me now on this. So does this scandal stoke more fears about how health care will be enacted, Stuart?
Absolutely. Yes, it does. And it's beginning to have a financial impact, especially on, as you said, Martha, Obamacare. Again, as you said, the IRS will be the policing agent for Obamacare. You're going to have to, on your next tax return next year, you're going to have to report to the IRS personal health care information. Two developments on that, because you have to ask the question, do you trust the IRS with your personal health care information? Here's the two developments. Diane Black, Republican, Tennessee. She's on the House Ways and Means Committee. She wants to stop the IRS from being the policing agent for Obamacare. Dean Heller, Republican, Nevada. He wants to stop the hiring of 1,954 IRS agents who will be hired to police Obamacare. So there you've got this pushback because there is this lack of trust that the IRS can be trusted with your healthcare information.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a dangerous and slippery slope when the IRS, when their credibility is brought into question, because they, of course, know how much you make, right?
Yes.
Everybody across the country, they know what your income is. And now they're supposed to marry that information, how much you make and whether or not you fall under a certain level, with whether or not you are eligible for a health care subsidy. And that raises questions, too, because you got to keep them posted on every change that might happen in your employment picture, right?
Yes, and there's more to it than just that, Martha. Your doctor is going to put on file electronically your entire medical history. At the same time, on a parallel path, the IRS wants to know about your health insurance. There is no wall between those two areas of information. And bearing in mind what they've done politically, there is no trust that they won't jump that wall and go into your personal medical history. There is no absolute separation of those two lines of information. And that's where the lack of trust comes in.
And, you know, we were told so many times that you didn't have to fear anything about your privacy with all of this stuff, and that, you know, having their health care records online wasn't an issue. But now that you know that there have been people scanning documents for catchwords, you wonder what they're going to scan in terms of health care and your health records along the similar lines. It's a legitimate question given all of this.
It is possible that the IRS scandal will delay the implementation of Obamacare. That is the way things are heading at the moment.
That's big. We'll see. Stuart, thank you so much. See you later.
You mentioned this Inspector General report. We also got this out of it, basically showing the IRS as a bureaucratic mess. Just some background now. Data from 2012 shows more than 30% of phone calls to the IRS went unanswered. And the wait time to speak with a rep was nearly 17 minutes. That's up from 500% from what it was back in 2004. Nearly 48% of all correspondence to the IRS that same year also not responded to in what was considered a timely manner.